Hi, everybody, and welcome to our Powerful Women in Business event. We're so happy to have you guys here with us to listen to our inspirational panelist of women. We hope that you leave this call really feeling motivated to take action in your life towards your goals and dreams. My name is Brittany Ame. I live
gotta
in
go, guys. All right, bye-bye. Love you.
We got to mute somebody here. Make sure that you're muted. Thank you. All right, my name is Brittany Ame. I live in Southern California. I'm a wife and a mom of two little ones. I was a former collegiate and professional athlete, and I've been coaching volleyball for the past 15 years. It's become a huge passion of mine to not only share the power of plant nutrition with all my friends and my family and my athletes, but also to grow a business that allows me to be home more while raising my kids. I don't know if there's anybody else out there who's like, I want to be home with my kids. Type it in the chat. I feel you. As someone who didn't really know that this opportunity existed, I felt I feel very strongly about helping other moms see that this can be an option for them as well. Now, before I turn this over to my co-host, I want to make sure that as you listen to our beautiful panelists share their business journeys, you understand that we are making no income claims or product claims to treat or cure any disease or illness. Okay? With that being said, Aditi Kumbhapalati, go ahead and take it away. Oh, you're muted. I know, I did that last time.
I did. That's hilarious. Hello. We've done this for the last 5 months and it's been absolutely incredible, but we still sometimes have some hiccups here and there. I was muted just now, but I am Aditi Kumbhapalati, as Brittany said. I also live in Southern California, and I am so happy to be here. We really started these calls because we felt like we needed to have our stories being shared, and just to inspire and encourage women to dream bigger, do more, create more for themselves and for their lives, and getting just real, true, authentic ideas and thoughts and strives to what they're actually doing in their business. And that's why we love these calls so much. Just quickly about me, I'm a social worker, I'm a volleyball coach, and I love empowering young ladies and young women. And so this call was perfect for us. Brittany is actually the one who introduced me to the products 2 years ago. And I wanted to support my friend. And I was like, why not? I had some issues I was going through with my knee, and I figured it makes sense. Let me just try it out. I love her and I trust her. And I did. And I'm very grateful that I did. 2 years later, here I am with not much knee pain. Inflammation has definitely gone down, full range of motion. And I'm just very, very grateful for these products. So you did not come to hear from me. You came to hear from our amazing panelists. So here we go. First up, we have Megan O'Brien. She's a mom of 3 daughters, married of 12 years, and lives in Arizona. She graduated from Ball State University with a degree in exercise physiology and spent 7 years as director of cardiac rehab at Tuscan Heart Hospital, 15 years as a personal trainer, and 15 years in corporate America with the activity in health. When Juice Plus came into her life, she was pregnant and felt like it was a really good fit for her. She recently completed her nutrition course through Institute of Integrative Nutrition out of New York, and she loves to hike, snowboard, and travel when she has free time. Alicia Jackson is a graduate of University of Southern California, USC, and she has a double degree in journalism and communication. Spent 24 years in corporate America, where she's working in recruiting and training, and developing in sales and marketing for Fortune 500 companies such as Federated Department of Stores and Xerox and Pfizer before leaving the pharmaceutical industry in 2006. She's married to her beautiful husband, Tony, for over 30 years. I believe she just had an anniversary. Is that correct? Just recently, and she has 2 children, Jasmine and Ben. And then we have Nanette Swift Hill. She is a New York native, currently living in Atlanta right now. She enjoys teaching Pilates, certified instructor as well. She had a professional career that included 14 years investment industry, as well as operations manager and buy-side firm. And she currently is building her own, obviously, business with Juice Plus Company. She's a formal dancer, and she loves all things theater. She also was an American ballet dancer at the New York School of Jeffrey Ballet. She's both a lover and patron of the arts, and has 2 daughters, now 27 and 21, and very passionate about personal growth and mental health awareness. So those are our powerhouse panelists, and I cannot wait for you guys to hear their stories. First up, talk to us, Megan. tell us your product story and your journey into coming into this business and how it all came about for you.
Okay, thank you so much, TK. So my product story started when I was actually pregnant with my first daughter, and I was introduced to Juice Plus, and I at the time was juicing. I was running marathons, and I didn't think I needed any extra nutrition. However, I'm growing this little baby, so I figured, well, it can't hurt, but I'm not a huge vitamin person. So I took it to my OBGYN. She said that stuff is great. My whole family takes it. I think that it is one of the best things you can do when you're pregnant. So I started to take it just for that little baby. But it was about 8 months later that I realized I didn't get bronchitis that winter. And for me, bronchitis was something that plagued me my entire life. I'm somebody who has asthma. I've had asthma my whole life. And every single winter, bronchitis, and I would be in the hospital or in urgent care on steroids and the whole shebang. And so that was really interesting. And so I just decided to continue taking it. And it's been 10 years now. Not one time have I had bronchitis since starting this. And I'm off all of my asthma medication as well. So for me, I actually joined the business at the same time as I took the product because I wanted a discount. And I thought, man, this stuff just makes sense. I'm definitely going to jump in.
That is awesome. I love that. It's amazing what you see and how quickly you see when you get plants in your body. Okay, so talk to us, Nanette, your product story and your business story.
Hi. Yes. So I first heard about Juice Plus from my mom. She's a naturopathic doctor. And actually, I didn't get it for myself first. I got it from my daughter. She, at the time, well, since she was born, actually, since the time she was about 2 months old, she would get bronchitis also. And we'd end up in the emergency room. She'd be on a nebulizer. And once she got older, she was missing a lot of school and we'd be up all night. And so my mom suggested that. And since Juice Plus had a program where children could get it for free, I was like, oh, great, you already have an order. So great, put her on yours and let her start taking it. And noticed that she wasn't getting sick as often. She wasn't getting sick as often. When she did get sick, we were not ending up in an emergency room, and she wasn't missing that much school anymore. So I myself had a neurological muscular issue where I lost the use of several of my fingers, and I wasn't really able to hold a glass, and my handwriting was getting worse. And I had been seeing specialists, neurologists for about 1.5 years. I was tired of being poked and prodded, electrocuted, just everything, you name it, all the MRIs and everything they were telling me, nothing was curable. So my mom suggested that I start, she suggested again, because she told me the first time and I was like, it's okay. And it didn't happen right away, but I would say after about 8 or 9 months, a little less than 1 year, I would say, I started regaining the use of my fingers back and some of the muscle tissue that I had lost. And even though I still had some symptoms, about 95% of them were gone. And that was a big deal for me. Also, I was so anemic that they thought I had sickle cell. I went to donate blood and they were like, I think you're the one that needs a transfusion. And I noticed that once I started taking Juice Plus, it got me from a 4 up to a 10. And even 1 year I was able to donate blood. So that was a big deal for me. And I just was naturally telling other people about it. And so my mom suggested that I become a partner. And that was it from there. I've been doing it since then. And that's my story. Yeah.
Wow. What a powerful story. Thank you for sharing that. It's even though I know your story and I've heard some of these late stories before, it's just always so inspiring to hear more in depth of what they have gone through and how this has helped them. It's really incredible. Alicia, talk about your product story and your business story.
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you for inviting me to participate in this wonderful panel. It's so wonderful, and I feel it's an honor. So I was working as a pharmaceutical rep for Pfizer at the time. I was calling on family practitioners or internal medicine physicians, cardiologists, nephrologists, and endocrinologists because I was part of the cardiovascular division. And so I was on the teams that launched all the big blockbuster products that are probably household names to you now. And I just took a day off from work because I was burnt out and needing to be poured into. I randomly I went to a conference for women and children, and I randomly walked up to the Juice Plus booth and didn't really even know what it was and had never heard of it before. And the woman started educating me, asking me questions and engaging me in conversation about my family and our health. And we were not eating well. We were all constipated. We didn't know that we were constipated. We were clueless. I was tired all the time. Every afternoon at 3 o'clock, I was driving through Starbucks just to get caffeinated up to make it through the rest of the day. And I would get sick, and the kids would get sick, and then I would get sick. And just like the other panelists, it would always turn into bronchitis. I would always have to go on 2 rounds of antibiotics, first a Z-Pak and then a fluoroquinolone, which was really knock it out. And then I would have a yeast infection and have to deal with that. So it was just this merry-go-round situation. And so the woman started telling me about, the science. That's what really got my attention. And then I noticed the Journal of the American College of Cardiology journal on her table. That spoke to me because that was the journal that I used to call on my cardiologists all the time, because that's like the Bible to cardiologists. So I asked her, "Are you published in that?" And she said, yes. She starts telling me about the study. And I was like, okay, that's it. Instant credibility. Then she told me about what was called the Children's Health Study, and that I could get the product for my daughter, who was 7 at the time. She's now 23, about to be 24. Absolutely at no additional cost if I ordered the product for myself. And I was like, well, free is, great. I mean, that's a no-brainer. And then she said, well, your son, who's 2.5, well, we have these little, gummies that he could have. And it's all fruits and vegetables. I was like, okay, I could cover the whole family. It was very economical and it had science. So I was like, okay, signed up on the spot, consumed it religiously for a year. And in that time, at the end of the year, I realized, oh my gosh, the kids didn't get sick this year. I didn't get sick this year. We were no longer constipated anymore. And I had more energy than I'd ever had. Didn't even need to have to go through Starbucks anymore. So around that same time, my husband and I were talking about our quality of life. And I was working like a crazy woman, okay? Like all day, all night, weekends, not hardly spending any time with the family. And he was like, I really want our quality of life back. I want you to quit this job. Now, I'm talking about a significant 6-figure income, perks, blah, 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 the whole nine. But you know what? When it came time to me thinking about my kids, I was like, they're now 3.5 and 8. And if I had the opportunity to be able to be there hands-on, to be able to be there for them, I said, I'm taking that opportunity. And so about 6 months later, I was like looking for more purpose. And I had community because I was in the PTA and all that kind of stuff, but I was looking for a little bit more purpose and some more income. And I decided at that time, you know what? Everybody was coming after me. Every company was coming after me to join their business. And I'm like, nope, nope, nope. And I was like, you know what? The business that I want to do is the one that only has 6 products that I can wrap my arm around, that has real science to back it up, that's totally legit, that I can be proud of. And the company is solid. Okay. And so that's when I made the decision to join the business. And that's going on 16 years now, 15 years going on 16. I just made my 15-year anniversary this October. And I love it. I would never want to do anything else. And I never had to miss any assemblies, field trips, sporting events, classroom, mom, any of that stuff. And you just can't put a price on that.
I love that. You cannot put a price on it. You absolutely cannot. Oh, awesome. Okay. So Megan, talk to us about what your initial vision was or goal when you started this business and how that shifted for you now.
Okay, well, I'm going to be very honest. My initial goal for this business was to get the discount. So it just made sense to me. But you know what? I am a very health-minded person. So I knew I wanted the people I love most, my family, to jump on it. I wanted to protect my mom, dad, brother, and my husband. And, that was about it. I had a lot of limiting beliefs. I had some preconceived ideas about this industry as well. And I'm an introvert by nature. So the thought of going out and talking to people was like, oh my gosh, I can't do that. I'm not a salesperson. I worried what people might think. So I had a few limiting beliefs initially. But I also thought, I don't know if I have enough time for this business because I was traveling the whole West Coast with my career. I was also personal training before and after work, and I was pregnant. But the interesting thing was, now that I have been in this business for 10 years, I can see that those were really excuses keeping me really in my comfort zone. And I found ways to just weave this business throughout my busy day, as we all are very busy people, just wove it through. And as I started to go to more and more events and see the community that this business has and attracts, it really inspired me. And I thought, man, I see so many people out there making a huge impact in other people's lives. That's what I want to do, because in cardiac rehab, I saw the patients after they were already bypass surgery and all these other things. I wanted to get to people before they got to that situation. And my passion is little kids. So I thought we got to get more fruits and vegetables and as many little kids as we possibly can. So like Alicia said, I saw the massive purpose that is behind this business as well. And now the interesting thing is I do this full time and I make a full-time salary doing this, but I get to work anywhere I want. I have flexibility of time completely. We travel all over the summer and I don't have to ask a boss for, time off or anything like that. So it has really come full circle for me.
That's awesome. And it's so nice being your own boss. I love it. Nanette, how have things shifted for you? What was your initial goal and how has that changed for you now?
I think initially, I don't think I initially had a goal, to be honest. I was telling other people about it. And so Mom said, you may as well be a partner. And so I got a pretty decent customer base and I went to events, and at the time I was working in the investment industry, and I would go to Juice Plus events, and that's where I started to feel like, well, maybe this can be a full-time thing, or maybe this could be something that could replace my income. And I had the opportunity coming home from a conference to sit next to someone from the corporate office, Karen Jones. And she was like, well, you got me here. You have any questions? And I was like, yes. I was like, well, $500 a month is not going to do it for me. If I'm going to replace my income, I need quite a substantial bit more than that. And is that possible? And she said, it definitely is. We had a good conversation. She told me what she thought that would take for me to do that. And so that's when it kind of shifted. And I am also an introvert. So the idea also, like, I'm great when I'm around people, but that's not my natural MO. I naturally want to be by myself. I enjoy my own company. So it got me out of my shell, and I'm still on that journey. And so now what I began to realize more and more as my customer base increased and I started really seeing the differences. I mean, having customers who were about to cancel their order, and I had them double up because they had extra and didn't even realize until they went to their next appointment that their doctor was like, oh, well, we can take you off of this and we can take you off of that. And just seeing these stories happen one after the other. My dad, who had a stroke, fully recovering and has been on Juice Plus for 9 years now. And I realized that with the statistics in the African-American community, that much more of our people needed it. And I knew that it wasn't just, our diets. I knew that the stresses and a lot of the things that we deal with as African-Americans in this country really contribute to our quality of life with our health. And just like an athlete who needs to consume more fruits and vegetables than the average person, or a pregnant person whose body's doing a lot more, when you're dealing with higher levels of stress, you also need to have additional nutrition. So I've become very passionate about letting people in my community know about what Juice Plus is. I feel it's a gift. And so that's how it's shifted for me. It's become my plan A instead of my plan B. And I have definitely come to love the community as well, very much so.
I love that. And I love how it shifted for you, you know, initially it being kind of like a money thing, like I'm going to need more than $500. Okay. And then really finding that passion, the community that is in need of more. So that's beautiful. Alicia, how about you? What was your initial goal? How has that shifted for you?
Well, I like to think of the fact that there's many seasons in this business. You know, it's a marathon. It's not a race. And so when I first started out, what attracted to me was, you know, the flexibility and the freedom and being able to make a contribution, you know, have a little jingle in my pocket, but then also to be able to make a contribution as, you know, as a stay-at-home mom. There's something about being able to contribute that just kind of fills your soul, you know? And so that was initially what was it for me. And then as I've gone through this journey, when I've seen, my dad also had a stroke. He had a stroke when I was pregnant with my son, Ben, who is his only grandson. And it breaks my heart even to this day that he was only like 63. And he's never been able to hold his grandson. He's never been able to throw a football or anything like that, play catch. And so the Juice Plus has helped him. Then in another season, we had some significant, my husband's business just literally went kaput overnight in the economic crash of 2007. The thing that I saw in this business was how faithful what I had done, how faithful the company is, because that check came every single month, often early. And it really helped us during that really dark season. Then in another season, my mom got dementia, and, you know, 5 years she declined. And that nutrition, it didn't stop the dementia from progressing, but it helped me have more time with her, you know, and helped her body, I mean, remain healthy. I mean, her body was healthy. It's just her brain that was deteriorating. And so I saw that gave me a resolve. We have risk factors in our family. Most African-American families do. And so I was like, you know what? I don't want to be a statistic and have hypertension, stroke, diabetes, hyperlipidemia, dementia. I don't want to have any of that. And if there's anything that I can do to help myself and other people, then I have to do what I have to do. So I shifted into another gear and said, you know what? I got to get more intentional. So first I had to learn how to unthink like an employee and become an entrepreneur. And it's a completely different mindset. And you have to work on that. You have to get skills. You have to get training. You have to change mindset. And so it's a process, you know, that you have to commit to, okay, to do the work. Okay. And I'm so glad that I'm a different person now, 15 years later than I was before, a much better person. Okay. And so this business, I mean, people often say that this business is, you know, a personal development program cleverly disguised as a business. I mean, you grow. And I don't know, you'd have to spend tens of thousands of dollars to be able to get the training that comes naturally to just build up your personal skills, your intellectual skills, your leadership skills someplace else, but you get to have fun while you're doing it, and you get to earn while you learn. And I love that about this business. And so now my new goal is for my husband and I to be able to generate some significant retirement income for us, and then to be able to take my adult children and our whole family on international trips that we dream of. That's my driving force now.
Yes. Yes, Alicia, let's go. Absolutely. I love that. You get to earn while you learn. Okay. I love that. Okay. So Megan, talk to us about, let's get some like getting the nitty gritty. Okay. About the business. And so what do you feel what have you found personally to be the most important thing you need to have success in this business? Maybe say, I'll give you two most important things. I know it's difficult, but.
Okay, I'm glad you gave me two, because I was going to say I couldn't pick between the two that I came up with. I have a team that work with me between the ages of 18 and 80. So it spans all kinds of different ages. And I think coachability is a big one. And I don't know if you would consider that a skill, but it's maybe a trait. But I do feel that if you are coachable in this business, you can go anywhere, because I've had people on my team who just struggled and tried to do it a certain way, their way. And I just said, hey, come back to me when you're ready to learn. And they just hit the wall. And finally said, hey, okay, tell me what I need to do. And then boom, they burst through the wall. It wasn't me. It was just the training and the building of a few skills that they needed, and the personal growth, like Alicia mentioned, that you need to get to. The other thing I think is resilience, because as we all know, in life, just like in this business, you're going to hit highs and lows. And this business sometimes feels very personal, especially when you're first starting. You can take things more personally. You get hung up on certain things that you normally wouldn't. But I think having that resilience through the harder times, or when you get stuck and things like that, is going to be what helps to carry you through that and continue to build that personal growth, because that is where the growth comes from, is those tough moments where you say, okay, do I keep doing this? What do I need to do differently? And that is where the growth comes. And it's so beautiful to see that happening within people. And for myself as well, I have grown so much. And it's because I just didn't give up. So those would probably be my two top ones.
Yes, that is awesome. Coachability, resiliency. Listen, we've all been very resilient during this pandemic. 2020, 2021, we have been incredibly resilient. So you're absolutely right about that. Okay, Alicia, what have you found to be the most successful, or most important thing to be successful in this business?
Okay, so I'm going to build on Megan's resilience, because I had that written down, but I have two other ones that I'm going to actually talk about. But I want to just I want to just tell her that what she's talking about is really incredible, because this particular year, my mom died in January, and then my brother died in 5 months later in May. Mm-hmm. And it could have shut me completely down. I could have quit. But my one that I'm talking about is I was resilient because I have a can-do positive attitude. My mom used to always say, never let anyone or anything steal your joy. So we have a choice in terms of our attitude. Our attitude affects our altitude. Do we soar, or do we stay down here with the pigeons? I want to be with the eagles. Okay. So we make a choice. And so, and in this particular year, in this season of sadness, my business grew 45%. I was focused and intentional. Okay. So I was resilient, but it's the can-do attitude. So that's one. And then relationship building is the skill. You have to be able and willing to build strong relationships. And there's a whole bunch of skills that go inside of that, but that's the umbrella that I'm talking about. Okay. Because this business is a relationship business.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. And so sorry for your loss, Alicia. Wow, I know we've all lost loved ones and close ones. So anybody watching right now has lost somebody close to them, we're with you.
The power of this community.
Yeah.
Somebody said it earlier, I think it was Nanette, the power of my sister friends and sidelines and my team and everybody. This community, you can't find it anywhere else. Yeah. You just can't find it anywhere else. It's unique. So anyway, next, Miss Nanette.
Miss Nanette, yes. What have you found to be the most important thing? So I'll give you two most important skills to have success in this business.
Okay. One thing is to be authentic. I think it's really important to be authentically yourself when you're doing this business. I think it can be easy to look at other people and say, well, they're doing it this way, and maybe I need to be more like them. But when I really started to find my stride was when I realized how I best relate to other people and to be authentic in my own story and to be myself. And it changed the way, because this is about building relationships, maintaining relationships. When you are authentic, you have natural conversations, and it opens you up to be able to share with other people. So I think that's really important when it comes to sharing what you have as a gift to other people. I think it's also important when you're building a business to understand what is important to you, even something as small as how you schedule your time. I've been in situations where people have, suggested certain types of methods of scheduling and dealing with your time. And I really had to find my own way to do that. And once I did, everything just kind of has clicked into place since I've done that. So I would say definitely being authentic in those two ways. My other thing that Megan said was, I was going to say being coachable, being teachable. A lot of times you'll have a lot of great ideas of things that I think I'm going to do it this way. And you have people that one thing about the community is that you have a lot of people who have already been successful, and you get the opportunity to learn from them. And if you can just comprehend the simple things that they're telling you and be able to duplicate what they're doing as far as the skills, then I think you'll have a lot of success being able to be coachable. And then you'll find people who are willing to say yes and be coachable to you.
Yeah, I like that. I wrote down be authentic. It's so simple, but it's like, that is so important, not only in this business, in life. Be authentic. I love that. Okay, Megan, how has this business opened doors for you and new opportunities? And do you think that you would have pursued them if you would have never done this?
Okay, well, I did mention that I'm an introvert, right? So in my previous role, I would never have gotten up in front of a bunch of people in the front of the room and spoken. And just recently, I got up in front of a few thousand people and delivered a speech at our recent conference. And I've been up on the stage with Dr. Phillips. Some of you know him at a regional. So, really growing that public speaking muscle. If I can do it, anyone can, I promise you. So I think that was a huge opportunity. And this also inspired me. I did have some background in nutrition prior to coming to Juice Plus, but it really inspired me to deepen that knowledge. And so I decided to go through the course through the Institute of Integrative Nutrition, and completed that course and just got a deeper nutritional information from that. And that was incredible. It connected me to so many other people within our, health-minded community. And also help build my business as well. And then, traveling. I have gotten to travel all over the country, and we'll be traveling internationally, hopefully in the next year, once things open up a little bit more, to really start building my international business. The other thing too, is I went from a full-time job working, 8 a.m. till 5 p.m, and just doing that grind. I loved what I did. But now I get to do this full time. I have complete health benefits paid for my entire family. We went from paying $800 a month to, I think we pay about $20 a month now, because the company supports us through that health insurance. So I don't have to find a job. This is my full-time career now. And then I would say lastly, the opportunity that this has afforded me to reconnect with people that I never would have before. I just had a team member who we used to work together in a previous role. And she said, Megan, we were buddies before at our old job, but man, we have deepened that friendship unlike anything I could have ever imagined prior to joining the team. And I see that so much. You know, we go deep with some of these events and get-togethers and things like that. Our friendships just have deepened tremendously. I've been reconnected with people I haven't talked to in years and years and years. Now we're talking almost on a daily basis, and that's pretty incredible. I even got to do a salad in a jar party with my 94-year-old grandmother. So, you know, I think those to me are some of the most precious memories that I will have. And I would never have had them had I not had this business. So.
That's awesome. That is so awesome. And to do that with your grandmother, right? That's beautiful. Nanette, how about you? What doors do you feel like have opened up for you through this business? And do you think that you would have pursued it if you would have never gotten started with this business?
Well, I would say one thing is have never been a big social media person. And I wouldn't still say I'm not like a social media expert or anything like that. But one thing that I have learned in learning how to build relationships and is being able to meet people who are like-minded that I would have never met before. I have internet friends that I have never met in person that feel like they are personal close friends, other moms, other people that I've connected with. And that is huge because it makes your community that much bigger. And I just love to connect with other positive people. And we help to support each other. We also congratulate each other. And these are not even people who are doing business with me. Several of them have become customers, but just utilizing that platform to starting out just liking people's posts and then commenting and then following each other and then becoming more a part of each other's lives and in a very wholesome way. We hear a lot of negative things about the internet and about social media, but there are also a lot of really beautiful, positive things. Sorry. Sorry. Oops. I'm sorry. Yes. So that is an area that I would have never in a million years guessed that I would utilize in that way. The other thing I would say that I put down was just has to do with community again. And that is people on my team, people I'm doing business with, finding other like-minded people that I cannot, once again, authentically be myself around. I noticed that a lot of people who are looking for either other ways to make income, there's something in them that has either a dream or something that maybe at one time they didn't think was possible for their future that they've always wanted to do. And then they looking into ways to have, more income to be able to do that. And to me, that's a different kind of person. And it's become a safe space for all of us to be able to say, okay, I'm going to do this untraditionally. And I don't mean to say that they don't like what they're doing, because some of them have careers that they absolutely love. But there's something else in them that made them want to stretch. And so I love having that space where it's a safe space to dream. It's a safe space to reach for something that you would not have normally reached for. And to have community when you are pushed to stretch yourself and to maybe do things that you've never done before, like being on the internet, like going live on Facebook. You have people saying, yeah, you can do it. It's not going to be that scary once you do it. And so you have support in that way. And so I love that. And those are ways in which that I feel that I've stretched, or things that I've done that I wouldn't have done before.
Yeah, I love it. I love that. Yeah, and social media is such a huge door for opening your business, but also a really scary thing for a lot of people. So, and that's another thing that brings about so much leadership skills within all of us. So that's awesome that that's happened for you, and honestly, probably for all of us. Alicia, how about you? What doors do you feel have opened for you? Do you think that you would have walked through those doors if you wouldn't have been a part of this community and with this business?
Well, I have to laugh because Nanette, when she said first Facebook Live, I did my very, very first Facebook Live like this year. And I was like, and my sideline buddies encouraged me. And they're like, okay, you can do this, Alicia. You're such a good speaker. You can do this. Okay. I'm like, but what if I screw up? I'm not technical. I had all these excuses in my mind. And they're like, okay, we'll do a Facebook group, just the three of us. Okay. And you can do it in there first. Okay. And then when I did, I was like, oh, this is not so bad. So, okay, major breakthrough, right? But the community, I have made so many wonderful friends. Okay, many that I see on this wonderful platform here tonight. And I'm like, I would have never met these people probably ever in my life. Okay, if I didn't come into this community. And then, and they're all across the country. Okay. And so going to the conference, I was like, there's no way I'm going to be staying home and streaming and not going to be in St. Louis. Okay. Are you kidding me? It was like a reunion. It was like old home week. It was like family reunion, big time. So that the community is the number one thing. I would have never met everybody. But here's the thing that I would have probably never joined a business referral group. Okay. And when I made the decision that I wanted to do something, different for my business, I said, I'm going to do that. And through that experience, the leadership, the training in terms of how to network properly, how to speak in front of a group, how to be very concise with your message, all these different types of things. That's really, really helped me. That's really, really grown. And then you guys, my 18-year-old, who's going to be 19 next month, Ben, my son, wants to be a kinesiologist. So he's going to taking classes right now. And my dream, how exciting would it be for him to be able to come in to the business, at the right time, okay, to continue to work alongside me, Mama Bear, okay, and to continue to bring this message to second generation, you guys, to his people. He's a competitive basketball player, so there's so many people he can help. And then the final thing is one of the newest partners that just joined our team. He's got contacts all over the world, and so we will be building an international business. And I'm so excited about that. Can hardly wait. So those are the things that are new opportunities, things I probably would have never experienced, and I'm just, please, this pinch me. It's real. Yes, it's real.
Yes, it's real. It's real. And I know sometimes when we say these things, it's like, okay, calm down. You're doing too much. You're acting like it's you're doing too much, like relax. It's not that serious, but it is. Like, this is not like embellishment or exaggeration. This is real. It is you get pushed in ways you never imagined. Your brain and your mind expands and you see more for yourself, you vision more for yourself. And it becomes like an overflowing, like abundance of just everything, every type of direction that you want to go, you can just see yourself doing it. So that is very rare, very, very real and very, very rare in my opinion. Okay. So last question, Megan, if there's somebody in your life that you feel like is interested, right, but they're on the fence, they're not really sure about the business, but they want to add supplemental income, but they're not, like, can I do this? Can I not do this? What do you tell them? What do you say to them? How do you get them to a place where, because we're not in the business of forcing anybody to do what they don't want to do, right? But I mean, we know this business can be so incredible. So how do you talk to them about that when they're on the fence?
That's a great question. That was me. I wasn't sure if I could do this. In fact, I didn't think I could do this. So I totally understand people who are on the fence about, whether they can do this business or not. And I think you just have to look at, the potential that you might have. Sometimes we don't know, if we've always felt the same way, we don't know how good our bodies are designed to actually feel. If we've never pushed ourselves, we don't know the true level of capability that we have, because maybe we haven't been pushed in our current job or previous roles. We don't know how many people we could potentially impact because we've never tried to impact others in this way. And so when you think about, I am lucky because I have the ability to look back at my journey now and think, thank goodness I said yes. because now I'm leaving a legacy behind of people, customers that I've helped, team that I have now joined forces with, and we're making a bigger difference in the lives of others. But I think, you know, if you don't look at it as what do you have to lose, look at it as what do you have to gain? Because honestly, there's so much to gain in this business. And if you just allow yourself to take baby steps and trust whoever is bringing you into the business, you can truly do anything that you want to put your mind to.
Yes. Oh, it gave me chills. Just, you don't know what you can do. You just don't know. So why not give it a try? I love that. Nanette, what about you? What are you telling somebody that's just unsure, but you feel like you can see it and they're kind of like, I don't know. What are you talking to them about?
What I like to do is cast vision for them, show them, number one, how amazing the compensation plan is, let them know what's available to them, and let them know that this is a space and that I'm going to be here. I'm going to be here, and that there's a whole team of people who have had success that are going to be there whenever they're ready. But I like to let them know ahead of time, listen, whether you're trying to cover your product or whether you want a full-time income and you're not sure, how to do any of those things, let them know what's absolutely available and doable. And that way, when they are ready, they can step into it. And I keep going. I check back in with them. I let them know that I will, we'll stay in contact. We'll keep that relationship going. And so I think that's the most important thing. I like to create that vision for them, find out what it is that they are truly looking to do and what it is that they want for themselves, and let them know whenever they are ready that this is the full picture of what's available to you.
Like that. Put the vision out there and then let go. I like that. Alicia, what about you?
I ask a lot of questions and I listen very carefully to the answers, because the answers that they give me will lead me to learn, and they'll reveal what their fears are. And then I want to dive into trying to maybe unpack some of the fear. Some of the fear might be completely unfounded, and because it's a lack of knowledge. And so if I can connect them to the knowledge to help dispel some of the myths that they might be harboring, then we can have an important dialogue that's authentic and real and substantive. One of the things that I also do, and I do this when I'm talking to on a three-way call with a team member, make sure that I always say I want to make sure that you're well informed, and it's important to me, and I want to make sure that you know all your options. Okay, and then the most important thing I want you to know is that the decision is always yours, whether it is to buy the product or to join the business. Now, with regard to the business, it's my job to be able to make sure that they do see the vision and that they know that they're in business for themselves, but they're not in business by themselves. And whatever they decide, I'm going to help them, realize that. And they have, but it's the decision is there. So that we don't push, pull, or drag people, like you said. Okay. But it's about asking good questions and really listening to the answers, and then dealing with the answers one by one, but providing that hope and that vision, in the process, and answering their fears, because sometimes people just say they shut down and think no automatically because they think it's too hard, and they think unrealistic expectations. Let's deal with reality, okay? Because it's a track record that everybody, success leaves clues, okay? If all these other people have been able to do this, why not you? What if you could create all these things that you say that you want, and it's a franchise, just like Carl's Jr., Wendy's, McDonald's, and all that kind of stuff, but for $1 a week, $52 a year, the franchise does all the heavy lifting that frees you up to be able to do what you want, to love on people and make a difference. And you will never know unless you give it a try. So
There we go. And that being said, that's perfect wrap up. I'm so blessed that we were able to come to you guys and share our beautiful stories. Alicia, Nanette, Megan, thank you so much. We had some heavy hitters tonight. Hopefully you felt the energy, you feel a fire under you and whatever you want to do, maybe it's not this business, but whatever you're thinking of that's been like edging on your heart, hopefully tonight you feel a push and encouragement and inspiration to go and act and take action. Whoever invited you to this call, please talk to them, because you don't know until you know. And it might seem very fluff right now, but you don't understand until you're in it. This community is absolutely one of a kind. The friendships we make that last forever, the pushing, the excitement you get from this woman and this man having your back, it's just incredible. And it's not matched. It's not matched anywhere else. If you want to have your own business and you're not really sure how to do it, there is help. It's literally laid out for you. But I invite you to talk to the person who invited you. It's just, I want to encourage you to have a conversation about it. Just talk to them and they'll answer your questions, whatever you are thinking, any kind of fears, reservations you might have. Most of those things are just things that we just plant in our minds that aren't even real, but it's important to just talk to them about it. I know that some of you guys are wanting to create more for yourself and you want more for yourself, but you're not really sure where to start or where to go. We have a solution for you. So thank you so much. You guys are in the West Coast, the East Coast, the Midwest, South. You say you took your time to stay with us longer than we expected, but it's been incredible. And so I'm okay